there has been an audio clip that has been circulated on social media. One media house has reported on it. It's difficult to verify, but the contents we believe is important enough that we should have a discussion about it responsibly and be careful with regards to any speculation. So I ask that when you listen to this, be very careful what assumptions you make, but let's roll with the clip.
Find the plan, create the plan, the strategy or whatever, bring it here once you get approval. Whether it is, you see, at 13 people now, you might just need 5 or 7 to do strict PR, so you could use some to do some propaganda. Whether they're going to use fake profiles, whether they're going to use their own profiles, whatever they do. What you will have to consider is finding a way to employ people on the THA side. Could be menial tasks.
We don't have to pay. Yeah, most of them kind of got away to Chanel, and we found out.
And most of them kind of get employed already.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Is the others who not employed to bring them in because they are happy to do the thing on the side voluntarily. Once we employ them 8 to 4 in a lucrative.
So they get income.
Yes, that is what we know. So we will organize.
And that will help. That will help, even with as I was indicating. With the challenge you raise in terms of how two organizers are responding to the moves in Trinidad, that can help in shaping the narrative. Because about shaping the narratives. I don't want us to stop campaigning.
So, the minority leader of the THA, Kelvin Morris, and the political leader of the IDA have already come out with regards to who they believe is on, who are the speakers in that audio clip. I don't necessarily want to go down the lines of speculating who it is. I would caution people, yes, it does sound like certain people in the THA. Now, based on what they said, I think it's reasonable to think that the speakers have some connection to the THA, because if my analysis is correct, what they're saying is that they're getting people to work on social media for them. Some of these people already have jobs, so their concerns are those that are not currently employed to find them jobs, and they specifically said in the THA, so that they will have some sort of income and then they will do the social media work on the side. The implication of that is they're not getting the THA job because of the due process of the recruitment for that. They're getting it because they want people doing side work for them to have an income. And then, of course, the other thing is the word propaganda was mentioned, utilizing fake profiles was mentioned, and the controlling of the narrative with news coming out of Trinidad was mentioned, which is interesting because I'm not entirely too sure what the agenda is for the current THA executive with regards to Trinidad. I'm under the impression that Trinidad is not a priority per se for them, unless it's talking about the autonomy bill.
I'm actually not sure what the THA's agenda is for Tobago anymore. Let alone Trinidad. I don't know what the THA's agenda for Tobago is. But you can speculate all you'd like about the voices that were heard in that particular clip. Don't call names, that's all I will say. Speculate, think about it, never call names simply because libel is a hell of a thing. But the content though? The content, okay, so the thing is, right, how do you go about verifying this? Mm-hmm. Because nobody beyond the minority leader of the Tobago House of Assembly, Kelvin Morris, has really spoken out about this.
Denise Fernandez.
Right. Precisely, but
okay.
Within the THA.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Denise, for commenting on it. But how do you go about now verifying this and investigating it? Because if there are employees of the THA on the books that are legitimate, they're employed with the THA, mm-hmm. They're receiving an income. Precisely what do they do? We can put any fancy title towards them. Any title that is anything.
Even menial work.
Right.
Yeah.
But their job or their instructions as per their job or their side job is simple. Fake profiles, spread propaganda on social media.
Control the narrative.
You just have to be, and this is the thing, how are you not going to go about verifying all of this? Because I don't think the THA will release an audit of all its employees and their job and what they're doing. Even then, how are you going to point out, well, this individual is doing that?
For better or worse, because since there's no corroborating video so that we could see who the speakers are, this could be a hoax. This could be a false flag operation. I mean, how likely is that? I can't even begin to think right now, but we have to at least keep that in the back of our mind. That possibility is not zero. So this could be a hoax. This could be not legitimate. But I do think at the end of the day, it's not something that we should just ignore.
You can't ignore
right?
this.
Because things like this, what was said is well within the realm of possibilities with regards to how our politics in general, not just the current political body of whichever body you're looking at operates.
I wonder if those voices that were heard in that particular clip, if they're now scratching their head as to exactly who is the spy on the part of the PNM that is infiltrating our conversations with this recording.
That's the other thing. How was it?
Well done on whoever got the recording. It's excellent. And I think more of these things should come to light. The thing is now, as I've said, I do not know anymore how we're going to move forward. I'm between you and I and the viewing public and everybody watching out there.
Yeah.
I am very much disappointed, extremely disappointed in the THE generally. I'm not speaking specifically to this particular clip because again,
yes, before this,
just before this, disappointed, and I do not know anymore what are their plans, what are their visions, and really what is their agenda for Tobago.
The unfortunate thing is we can't ignore it. So it goes out to the public. For better or worse, that means that the perception is going to exist. And if it is a hoax, it will be an unfair perception. However, at the end of the day, whether it's a hoax or whether it's legitimate, one would hope that the people involved will come out to either defend themselves or to increase transparency, to try to squash this, put it to rest,
so
right?
How could you believe anything now that is coming from the THE if these individuals happen to be senior officials in the THE? How could you believe anything now coming out of there? What would you decipher from what is fake versus real?
Well, and that's the thing, right? It's difficult, but at the end of the day, again, we can't ignore the implications of it. And this is the dividends of when you do not practice transparency and accountability to the extent that you ultimately can. However far you can go with it, you have to go the furthest you can with it, right? As I said it before, something I've learned from my family, do the right thing even when you are not sure what the benefits of doing the right thing are, right? Even when you see other people kind of skate the system and take shortcuts, don't be tempted by that, even if it seems as though, well, what's the worst that could happen? You don't know. And by building up that goodwill, if you're a politician, you get the benefit of the doubt. But because the THA is on a downward trajectory, this could all be fake, but it's hard to give them the benefit of the doubt anymore. So if they were very open with all of the hiring and firing, and there was no wiggle room, no gaps for them to, like what the government, I suspect the government did with local government, there were no gaps to swim through, right, to get any exemptions through or exceptions through, right? If it was airtight and open for all to see, then this audio clip would be meaningless. But that's not the case.
The next part of it, obviously, is Kelvin Morris, if you're watching, I kind of need more than that. Is there more of that clip from beginning to end?
Well, I don't know if it originated from him.
No, but we're speaking about it.
Yeah.
And it is just a snippet of a clip. It's like all these videos we see now on social media. People pull out their phone when they want to, right? So this particular clip, this audio recording, is that it? Obviously, to me, there's going to be more before this piece was cut out and after this piece was cut out, right? So, and plus, this could just be, something that is put together. So think about all of that as well, right? To me, it's going to be interesting now how it goes about and how people respond, because this clip is a couple days old, and up until now, I don't think it's been taken too seriously.
Yeah.
And that could be an issue as well.
Yeah.